Welcome to Second Edition. I'm your host, Detective Duel. I'm looking for Detective Dyer. I hope he's as good as they say he is, because I need his help with an assignment. Detective Dyer. I'm Detective Duel. I've got an assignment for you if you're up for it. We need to host Second Edition.
Well, I never pass up the opportunity to work with a dame like you. Says here, first thing we need to do is check in with Pikolik and Brown with the news.
Welcome to Second Edition News. The Alberta government has recently announced it will be hiring 30 new occupational health and safety officers to the province.
The hiring will take place over the next 3 years and is expected to improve safety and working conditions.
This is Ricky Lozon. As a carpenter, he works with power tools and heavy machinery on a daily basis. The government's 3-year plan could not come sooner for him.
It's a great idea to enforce safety rules in the work environment because I come to work every day and I'd like to work in a safer environment so that nobody gets injured.
The Minister of Employment and Immigration says the increase is coming just in time for an upcoming economic boom, which will find more new companies and new workers out on the field. In turn, this will require a larger resource of safety officers.
And our officers will be shifting as the demand changes from one region to another. But those will be 30 extra sets of boots on the ground, so all employers will see more frequent visits to their places of employment.
The announcement also affects students of NAIT's OHS program.
It'll help improve safety standards and help to keep people safe because there'll be more awareness.
After a lengthy debate over the proposed downtown arena, city councillors have finally made a decision on whether or not to move forward with the project. Just after 9:30 last night, all but 3 of the 13 councillors, which included Mayor Stephen Mandel, supported the motion. Although the mayor has said this is not a decision set in stone, the city has already set out 15 terms and conditions to continue on with the arena. A few of these include the maximum cost of the arena being $450 million, a commitment of $100 million from the Cates Group, and the ownership of the facility belonging to the city.
Yeah, if it attracts more people down here, yeah, it could be good for the city.
The 3 councillors against the proposed arena are Linda Sloan, Tony Katarina, and Don Iveson. The meeting resumed this morning to further discuss the details of last night's decision.
The spring melt has begun, and with that in mind, the city's flood prevention program has launched a new prevention checkup. The city says that although there was lots of snow this season, constant temperature changes allow for a gradual melt. The checkups will look at things like eaves troughs, downspouts, and lock rating.
Included in this is an actual written report so that you can have it as a reference guide and take action to ensure that you've got the best flood protection level you can make your home.
To prevent flooding in your home, be sure to check your eaves troughs and downspouts often. Ensure your downspout has at least a 6-foot extension on it and point the extension away from your home. For more useful tips and to book your checkup, visit edmonton.ca/flood prevention. With the federal election less than a month away, the political candidates are trying to persuade Canadians for their vote.
But with less than 30% of 18 to 24-year-olds voting in the last election, many still aren't motivated to head to the polls.
No, I don't really care because it's not going to make a difference anyway.
Many NAIT students feel their voice isn't being heard and are not following the election.
I didn't even know that we're having one coming up because I don't really follow politics.
With this being the 3rd election in the past 5 years, the political parties are looking for a majority government.
To keep this country moving forward, Canada needs a strong, stable majority.
However, many parties are attempting to reach young voters through social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter. Students who do want to get involved can visit studentsneedtovote.ca.
NAIT President Glenn Feltham paid a visit to the radio and television program this week.
It's been a great first month. I've been able to get together with students and faculty.
After going over his lines a few times, he was ready for his first ever appearance on NAIT Newswatch. The president's visit to the program is part of an initiative called Project President. Through the project, Feltham makes his way to different programs and even joins in. The goal of the project is for the staff and students to become familiar with the president. By the end of the project, President Feltham hopes to have visited over 30 programs.
Elise Cox joins us with sports now. So Elise, I hear the playoff season is over for both the Oilers and the Oil Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately. I've got highlights for both those games coming up in sports. It was do or die for the Oil Kings this past Thursday as they took on the Rebels in Game 4. It was a slow first period, but all eyes were on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Rebels' hotshot and top draft prospect. The second period proved to be a lot more exciting, with 4 unanswered goals by the Rebels. Dumba gets things started off as he fires the puck from the blue line past Brossoit. Nugent-Hopkins follows up with a goal off his skate, which will go under review, but Rebels are given the goal. Rebels then go on to put away 2 more, and the score is now 4-0. Now in the third period, Curtis Lazar delivers the Oil Kings' one and only goal of the game. Ferguson gets tripped on a breakaway and gets handed an empty netter. The final score of the game, Rebels 5, Oil Kings 1. The Rebels move on to the next round of playoffs, where they'll face off against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Because our Oil Kings season came to a close, they rightfully saluted their loyal fans at the end of the game. Excitement was high last week as the Mini World Cup soccer tournament opened, and the energy is far from gone. The event is a great opportunity for both male and female players to compete against Edmonton's finest and represent the world's nations.
Just the fans and the support, it's a great atmosphere to be in. It's fun to play. I love soccer, so it just means a lot for our country and to be German and in Canada.
This local tournament has a surprisingly rabid fan base and has been providing plenty of thrills.
Oh, I think the energy is amazing, and it's so fun just to come out and see great soccer and support the players. It's fun. I mean, when you look over in the corner at the energy of the games, it's just really fun to be a part of it.
The group rounds are over and only 16 teams have survived the cut. The tournament closes April 14th, so make sure you catch some of the action. After the Oilers beat the Canucks in Vancouver on Saturday, the Canucks came back to Edmonton looking for some revenge. But could the Oilers upset the #1 team in the league again? Oilers get a power play end of the first period, and Eberle fires it from the slot, hits Jones in the leg, and ricochets past Luongo to make it 1-0 with just a second left on the clock. Second period, Tambellini anxiously whacks the puck into the net, but the goal is ruled after the whistle. Dubnyk makes the save as Schmid makes a pass at Snedden, only to cause a fight between him and Burrows. Both would head to the penalty box for roughing. Still 1-0 coming into the third. A nasty hit from Torres on Eberle with a vicious elbow to the head, and O'Mara immediately drops the gloves in Eberle's defense. Torres received a major for elbowing and a game misconduct. Eberle kept playing only to get cross-checked, a rough few minutes for Eberle. Omar feeds PRV the puck in front of the net to get the Oilers' second and final goal. Oilers go on to win their second game in a row. NAIT Athletics is drawing to a close, and our athletes are being recognized for all their hard work. NAIT President Glenn Feltham kicked off the evening at the Shaw Theatre this past Friday. The badminton team cleaned up at the awards, taking home the ACAC banner and the National Championship banner for men's singles. The Player of the Year awards were no surprise. Thiago Silva and Leanne Kadatz from the men and women's soccer team were both awarded the Athletes of the Year. With such a talented group of athletes, we look forward to what they will accomplish next year. And that's it for Second Edition Sports. I'm Elise Cox.
Did you know? In the book by Arthur Conan Doyle, A Study in Scarlet, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson didn't know each other in the beginning. Doyle actually became so tired of Sherlock Holmes that he wrote the final problem as a way to kill off the character, but Holmes was later resurrected due to popular demand. Did you know? Agatha Christie, a famous crime writer, wrote her first book because of a challenge from her sister and had to take it to 7 different publishers before it was printed. When he died, Hercule Poirot, one of Christie's most famous characters, was given a full-page obituary in the New York Times. And now you know.
What are you doing here?
It's a stakeout, genius. A little birdie told me I could find a news shark around here.
Who's that?
Gordon. He's got big news to tell the world.
I gotta go find this out for myself.
Well, we've been talking with detectives. You know, people professional at following and stalking people. What about on the other side of the scale, though? What if you were the one being stalked? Well, I'm going to show everybody how to survive this. This is Alora.
Welcome to Humanicare.
She's part of over 1 million Canadian women affected by stalkers every year.
So he started texting me and he was asking me how old I was, and I said, well, I'm 18, and he was 28.
Then it got serious.
I stopped answering his messages, but he would just text me over and over and resend the messages. I was getting like 20 to 30 text messages a day and phone calls and voicemails, and it just really started to freak me out.
Alora says she's learned from the incident and warns people to still keep your phone number personal.
Block your number, never have an open profile on Facebook, don't put your phone number on Facebook.
I got a chance to sit down with Lee Mulvey, an officer in training, and got some great tips on how to avoid a stalker altogether.
These days, a way to avoid a stalker would to be, surprisingly, to set your Facebook privacy settings to really private.
Lee also gave me some good tips on how to handle a situation if it doesn't seem too dangerous.
If it's someone like your ex-boyfriend, confront them, ask them in a firm way to, leave me alone.
Alright, well, we got some great tips from Alora Paulson and Lee Mulvey on what to do if you have a stalker. First off, giving your number to people you just met, not the best idea. Get to know them a little bit first. And in terms of social media, make sure you know exactly what information you're putting online, exactly who can view it. And if it gets to drastic measures, protect yourself, get law enforcement involved. Hopefully you know now how to survive this. I'm Michael Gordon, 2nd Edition News.
Dyer,
Yeah.
did you catch Gordon?
No, Dollface, he got away.
What about the assignment? We have to finish toasting the show.
Take a breather. I'll meet you on Pine Street after the break.
All right.
I'll play you for it.
Big Rock. Worth it. I wish there was a station with more variety.
All you need to do is listen to NR92.
Wow, I love this station.
NR92.com, the station for the students.
Igor, where is Inga? I need that formula.
Here's the formula you asked for, Doctor.
Now both of you stand back. This could be very dangerous. The color, the aroma, the consistency. I've done it. I've finally done it after all these years.
Doctor, Isuniam wine here. Pass me the vial. Thank you. Good day.
Wait! Please! May I go home now? I don't even remember what the sun looks like.
Not yet, Doctor. There's still too many varieties that need to be discovered.
Big Rock. Perfection has its price.
Where you been, Dyer? They've been waiting on us.
Relax, Dollface. Been looking for something to chew. You know any place good around these parts?
Ernest is just around the bend. I can take you guys there.
And then we'll check in with Detectives Taylor and Hudick, see if they have any new leads.
Welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm your host, Celeste Duell, joined here by Chef Josh. What are we making today, Josh?
Today we're making Bananas Foster.
And what exactly is Bananas Foster?
It's a traditional flambé dessert that consists of bananas, some brown sugar, some butter, and a little bit of cinnamon to give it a little spice for the sauce.
And we've already got the butter cooking, so should we add the brown sugar?
Yeah, we can go ahead with the brown sugar.
Perfect. And how much are we adding, roughly?
About a cup. You don't want to add too much, but you can never really overdo it when it comes to sugar or butter.
Is there a certain consistency it should get to before we add the cinnamon?
No, you just want to combine it all to where it's just one actual emulsified liquid, and then you add a little bit of the cinnamon, not too much. You just want to be able to taste it.
Perfect, and just continually stir, or?
Yeah, you don't want the butter to burn because then you'll get that really nutty burnt butter flavor, which isn't too good.
And is there a certain way the bananas should be cut?
No, it's mostly just based on portion sizes and serving sizes. You don't want them too big, but you also don't want them too small, just, you know, because they'll get mushy after they've cooked.
Awesome. Is there different variations?
Yeah, it mostly just changes with whatever alcohol you use.
Okay, and this is vodka we're using?
Yeah, it's vanilla flavored vodka. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of that. Turn the flame up, and then...
Wow, and what does that huge flame do? I know everyone's probably wondering.
It actually cooks off the alcohol, so you don't get that really alcohol-y flavor. You just get the flavor from, instead of, you know, the actual alcohol itself.
Awesome. And how long do you leave it on the pan after?
You just want it to get to where it's nice and a little bit thick.
Okay.
And then we serve it right on top of the ice cream.
All right, I'll pass that to you. Oh wow, that looks really good. Go. And it smells incredible. Thank you so much for joining us, Chef Josh. And why don't we give it a try?
Yeah.
All right.
My name's Eve Custer. I'm running this operation. Detectives Duell and Dyer report to me. If you want to join our team and learn how to solve mysteries, I'll show you where to go.
First, go to playsleuth.com. When you get to the homepage, select Shades of Mystery. Then you'll get to create your detective. I'm going to create Detective Duell, in disguise, of course. After you learn the background of the case, you may start the game. You can explore the room by moving the cursor around. A dead body! When the cursor turns into a hand, click, and you'll find evidence. Ooh, sleuth mail! Another clue. You can also explore the city to find more clues towards the case. You can even accuse people. After solving enough of these mysteries, you'll be the perfect detective. Be sure to check out playsleuth.com.
See the new hot shot they brought in from New York?
Maybe.
Well, I got a new lead in the case of Mr. George Reeves. Come on, man.
Wait, this ain't how we do it in New York.
You're not in New York anymore, princess. This is Hollywoodland.
Hollywoodland is the story of actor George Reeves' suicide in 1959. Reeves had played Superman on TV and shot himself in his Hollywood home, leaving his family, loved ones, and fans behind. His mother hires a detective to uncover the truth that George Reeves' death may not have been a suicide, but a murder.
That detective, what you got? Some questions?
The film stars Adrian Brody, Ben Affleck, and Diane Lane, who deliver knockout performances. And from the director who brought us The Sopranos, the filming of it and the emotions from the characters were very impressive. The jump between timelines of George Reeves and Detective Louis Simo are flawless, but the film's pace can get a little slow for some of the viewers. The ending was mysterious and doesn't quite answer all the possible questions the audience may have, but to me, that was the best part of the film.
You ever been to a party where a man goes upstairs and blows his head off?
No.
Then how do you know what's unusual?
You follow the growth of Brody's character through the ups and downs in his personal life, and as he tries to connect with the story of George Reeves' death in a different time. The transition between timelines are fantastic. They move the plot along and keep you guessing on the truth throughout.
Why? George Reeves was murdered? It's a heck of a question.
The film is full of mystery and intrigue, and although the cliffhanger ending adds even more mystery around Reeves' death, personally, I find myself wanting some closure at the end. But hey, that's Hollywood for ya. We give Hollywoodland 3.5 fedoras out of 5.
What's this? James. I'm Detective Dyer, and this has been Second Edition. Case closed.